Hiya, Damps, I'm here. I'm waiting for our Sonny. He's at boxing, so I thought I'd do a live video and see if anybody wants to ask me any questions. So ask me anything live. I'll have to have a think of what we've been doing. So today we've been we started a small damp proofing job, and the floor we'll be taking it up tomorrow. So video will probably come on towards end of the week. But I've been and knocked all plaster off. It's low level damp, so it's only I've knocked off about 450. So I'll and I've put salt neutralizer on it as well. And tomorrow we've got joiner coming. We're going to take first bit of floor up, and you'll see on pictures that I took. It's all affected by wet rot. There weren't enough ventilation in the cellar, so idea is that we're going to take it all up, put new joists in and splice them, so bolt them through. So if anybody wants to ask me any questions, feel free. If you've got any questions on damp issues, stuff to do with damp, them spots what you've got in your house that you don't know what they are, just let me know, because I'm just going to be sat here for the next half an hour. Is that better? You can see me now like devil, Anna. It's a yellow leaf, but I think it makes me look like Beelzebub or something like that. Orange face, Tango Man. I'm sat on Summer Lane. Traffic's getting a bit heavy now. It's funny because this time last week and week before, when we were coming up to boxing, it would just getting dusk. It was dusk. It was just getting dark, and traffic were really bad. And I was just saying to our son, the reason why traffic gets bad is because when it starts to get dark, that's when people decide to go home. And we drove up here in sort of daylight, and traffic were don't out on roads. And then now it's just getting dusk, and the queuing in front of us here, just all the way up Summer Lane, down at bottom. So that's my take on why traffic gets heavy. Oh, another thing, traffic does get heavy if when it starts to rain, and there's all spots on windscreen now. So that might be a double thing. Gets dusk, and then when it starts to rain, people jump in the cars and head off home. So if anybody's any questions on damp, just let me know while I'm sat here. I thought I'd do a Q&A. What can I tell you about this time of year? So we're in condensation season for a start, which is back end of September through to back end of April. And the reason why it's called condensation season is because we keep our windows shut. And then humidity builds up because we're staying more, we're in house longer, and air don't change as much in as properties. And that's when you start getting issues in older properties. If you've got cold, if you've got solid walls, you can get thermal bridging, so condensation will form on them. When you switch heating off and you go to bed, at night, temperature drops and humidity condenses onto cold spots. And dead pockets of air as well, which is normally like corners of rooms, behind furniture. And then after a bit, if it's left, then black mould will start to form. Filey's lovely place, Filey. All on that coast up there, up to Scarborough. It's Can you use normal silicone when using foam on plasterboard? I think you can, but it all depends on liquidity of it. So not a normal silicone. You want one that's like a glue. So I don't know whether silicone has got sticking properties, and I don't know how long it takes to stick. But you can use no nails. But your problem you've got is compared with dry grip and soft stick, is when that comes out, when it's sort of pumped out of applicator, then it is quite substantial. It's quite thick. But if you think about these cartridge ones that you just put in a what they call it, corking gun, they're only small. I imagine one of them only does like, it only do one plasterboard, but you need to be getting dot sort of around about 2.5 inches by about 2.5 inches on each one, and I don't think you'd get that with a cartridge. You'd have to you kind of you won't get it with silicone, just normal silicone. You'd have to have some kind of glue in. And I think if you pressed it against wall, I don't know how long it'd take for them types of glue to set. And I don't know whether they'd sort of stick to a dusty surface, because what we do is we put salt neutralizer on. So you put your salt neutralizer on wall, and that does two actions. So when you, even though we've like brushed it down, the house wasn't terrible with damp. Best route. Oh, that's good. I'm just trying to see if I can get these questions back up, because let's have a look. Oh, messages are all visible. Oh, I don't know where I get these messages from. It's come on screen and then gone off right quick. So chat viewing options. We're back on now. I've got them now. All chat is visible. Welcome to live chat. The house was terrible with damp. What is the best route to be damp free? It's gone off again, man. Thank you, Adrian. Let's have a look. Building with breeze blocks. Do you travel to Filey to do an appraisal? I've been all over. I've been Newcastle. I've been all over doing surveys and reports. I will travel, but I'm not cheap. That's the only thing. Further afield I go, more expensive I am. Welcome to live. Just found your channel, amazing. Dug under earth line with swimming pool backing onto the rear walls. Can you use normal silicone? Germany. Listen, if you were willing to pay for me a first class flight out to Germany, I'll be on it in no time. I'll come out and as long as it's first class, and I can have a glass of red wine while I'm laid there in first class. There was somebody going to fly me down to Cornwall, and he ended up. I should have said to him, you can get somebody cheaper down that neck of woods. all I say is if anybody's got any damp issues and the further afield, if you go on PCA website, Property Care Association website, you can do a postcode search. So as soon as you get onto portal, straight away there's a box you can fill in to find your nearest member. So you've got independent surveyors and you've got contractor companies with qualified surveyors. Now, your difference between your independents and your company ones is that there's not many independents has actually done job, that's actually been a technician, and this is where there's a bit of an issue. They've done all the training, done all books and everything, but they've never actually used stuff. They've not been on tools, and this is a problem that I think sometimes can we get them sent. We get reports sent from independent surveyors, and I'll look at photos and stuff, and straight away there's one who lives around. I get reports for all the time, and there's always stuff missing off it. Loads of stuff missing off a report, and I can't use that report to quote from. So when people send me these reports and say, "Can you do us a quote from that?" I just can't, because I can't trust other people's reports, especially when I've been to these properties and I've seen things missing. And it's not major. It's only little things, but you're told when you do your qualifications that you can't rely on other people's reports, and you can't, because they're not guaranteeing work. If you're doing work as well, you're guaranteeing it. So that's part of issue. So when people have these independent surveyors do a report, or even RICS, if a RICS does a structural report, they're not specialist damp surveyors. So they do a general overview, which is electrics. They know whether electrics are poor. They know whether roofs are bad, whether there's any structural issues, which is great. And they've got a damp meter, but when they're going round and they're pressing, sticking damp meter in wall, majority of them can't. They can't interpret these readings. So damp gives off different patterns of different readings. So you'll get like your meter goes up to 100, so you go from 0 up to 100. So if you're getting readings over 20%, no cavity walls in old houses need stop cold air. You can turn the elements. I have to do it again. Have a look. No cavity walls in old houses need to stop cold air. Can you do element board? Item bedroom. I can't understand that question. Sorry. I can't. It's if if there's words missing, I can't understand it. And apologies again, because they're coming up really quick, and I'm going to go back into it and try and read question again, but I couldn't read it, so sorry. I don't know what it said. It didn't really make sense. But when I run about RICS surveyors, yeah. So a RICS surveyor is not a damp specialist, so they can't interpret readings that's for different patterns of damp. So penetrating damp is a different reading, although a lot of time, if you see penetrating damp, you've only to look outside, and they're not daft. They'll look outside and they'll be able to see if gutters leaking and stuff. It's when there's other things, like some windows have got like a sill underneath. Some plastic windows have got a plastic sill with a drip member, and it sometimes protrudes out about that far out at wall. I were at one right corner survey on Friday, and this is what were happening. So you got like a plastic sill that was stuck out about that far. When it rains, rainwater will dripping onto that, then running round, then dripping off at off a drip member, but then there were a electric cable about 2 foot down wall, and it would dripping onto that, and then when you went in bedroom, it would just wall wet through, all penetrating down. Can you put board on bedroom wall, stop condensation? What's best? There's quite a few different systems for bedroom walls. If it's a solid wall, and you're wanting to make that surface warmer, it all depends on if you've got a radiator on there. Because if what we tend to do, we buy a 22mm insulated board and they sell them at Haworth, and it's an 8x4, so majority of people aren't going to be able to get them in the car unless they cut them in half. Then it's 120 by 120. But and what we do is, if there's no radiator, we can just stick a board on, and normally you don't even have to put an Instastick on, so you just put dry grip on, and it just sticks straight to the wall half at time. So once you've done that, it'll warm it up. The problem you've got is when you've got like a radiator, or if the socket's there sometimes, because they can be an issue. But these I think about 2 or 3 systems on market, and they're like foam tiles, and they're about 8mm, and it's got like a mesh on it. And these foam tiles, they're about that wide and about that long, and you stick them on with it's a similar thing to dry grip, and you put these tiles on all as if you're doing bricks, like, so there's no joints matching, and you do them all the way up to the top, and it's got a really, really high thermal value, and you just skim straight over it. And they've got these thinner like foam tiles for window reveals. I think they're about 5mm. But what I've found is it's just a really, really expensive system. It's about for a wall which is like 3 meters, say by 3 meters. I priced it up, and you're looking at about £1,000, including labour. Over £1,000 for a wall that's 3 meters by 3 meters. And I just found it easier to take skirting off, even if it's got radiators on. Take radiator brackets off. But sometimes 22mm will go on and be okay. But take that off, stick an insulated 22mm insulated board on, and we've never had any issues with it. We've stuck them on, skimmed it, it's just dried straight out, and it's been fantastic. But compared with these boarded systems, these little bat, like, so they're like little bat tiles, something like that, and it's just such an expensive system. I don't know. I was talking to Rep and asking him, I says, who'd use something like that? And he said, basically somebody who's got a great mansion. It's, if they've got a great mansion and they want best system, they're going to get that, because it's more thermally efficient. So if you check that out, it's on Safeguard's website. I can't think what they call it, but it's basically a foam tile with a mesh on it, and you stick it on with like a glue, like an acrylic glue that's a bit like dry grip. Just stick on back of your box, on back of your foam tiles, press it on, and then press next on. I think you can cut them with a Stanley knife. But that's 8mm. And then when you skim it, you another 3mm of skimming. But first lot that I saw, it said that you didn't just skim onto it. They put hardwall, so they put like a backing plaster on. Underfloor insulation, stop drafts. Just got floorboards, no can. Underfloor insulation. It should do, yeah. If you can get underneath, if it's a cellar, you can insulate in between joists. If you can fit it, it'll stop some drafts, yeah. you can seal all that as long as it's not flush with joist. And insulation comes in different sizes, doesn't it? You know, so as long as you've got ventilation going into your subfloor or your cellar, and you can get in to put your insulation in, there's no problem, no issues with doing that. That's sound. I mean, on new builds now, even subfloors have to have 100mm insulation put in. I had to do it with mine, and we had to put like we screwed some battens so far down so that when insulation went in, it just sat, so it would just level with top at joist, and then we put floorboards on top of that. But yeah, save you on some heating, that get some insulation on your floor. That'd be a good thing. It's just whether you can get there, whether you can get underneath it, innit? You know, some subfloors are awkward to get to unless you're going to take the top up, chipboard up or whatever it is. Yeah, so I hope everybody's enjoying the tea time. What you're all having to eat. I'm starving, me. I ain't had out to eat all day. Apprentice has been at college, and I ain't had out. I've been flat out. I weren't hungry this morning. I'm getting a bit peckish now. I've got chili and rice. Mrs. Damp Sam makes me on a Mondays. So we can more or less tell days with what we have. It's a bit like being back living with mum and dad when I was a kid. You always tell what you were having each day. Sunday dinner was Sundays, wasn't it? But anyway, so she's making me. Well, she's made it. She makes a great, because she's away. She's working while 7, so she makes it in the morning, and then I'll get in 2-minute rice in what they call it, in microwave. 2-minute rice. Get that in, put it in pan. In bowl. Get chili going. Get that in. No garlic bread though. No carbs till marbs or whatever it is. Because I think I'm going away this year, hopefully. Now we've got rid of COVID. So we've got Ibiza booked with family. And we've got a weekend with lads to Benidorm. I'm going to Benidorm. So if anybody's going to Benidorm, they might see me there. Cow's cock and onions. I've never heard that. Cow's cock and onion rings. Does that go down it, like down it? So it's like all rings around, and then do you eat it like a, I don't know, like a lolly or something. Cow's cock and rings. I've never heard of that. I've been about a bit in Ireland. I've never heard of cow's cock and onion rings. It's new to me, that. I don't know what part of the country that is. Probably, I'm tipping it's going to be west or east or something. Where farmers are and that. I bet it is. It's a lot more than a mouthful. Well, it depends. Depends how big your mouth is. Some films I've seen, I think there's quite a few women would probably be able to tackle it. This area what I'm in, so there's a boozer to left. There's two smackheads arguing here. That's like, you can hear them. Hang on, if I turn. I hear them shouting. One's on one side of the road, other than the one's shouting, come on then. What I was saying is it's a bit rough around it. Well, not rough, fighting rough and that. It's just there's a lot of down and outsly, but there's flats at back here. And we're in centre of Barnsley, and then streets at back of there, Crook Street and all that, like a lot of down and outs, druggies and stuff, rented houses up there. I think once Barnsley Town Centre's done, I think there'll be a lot of demand for housing. People wanted to live in the centre, and I think once rents start going up, they'll get sort of kicked out of their houses, and houses will be sold or done up, and there'll be some kind of gentrification. So that means people with money will move in. No worries. Yeah, when gentrification happens, that means that prices go up and people with money move in. Years and years ago, 1989, I lived in London on a place called Sydney Street. Lived with 5 nurses. Last who I knew from up here. I went down and I was going to start working down there doing plastering, but there was just no about. And I did a couple of jobs, but there were really no about. But place where we were on Sydney Street, it was near London Hospital, and it were affordable for nurses and that. So they lived in the 5 of them lived in this house, had a top floor and all bedrooms and stuff. Nice house and that. That house now is worth about £4 million, and they won't be able to live there now. It'll be like 3 or 4 grand a week. Yorkshire ice cream goes fast. Probably, yeah. Ice cream. Izzy loves ice cream. I'm not. Well, I like it. I like what they call it, Eton Mess. I had one other week at when I was down Progressive in Premier Inn. So I got a deal breakfast. You got breakfast and an evening meal for 24 and a drink for 24 quid, which I didn't think was bad because thing is 9 quid, isn't it? 10 quid for breakfast, and then meal 2 courses and a drink. It's like it's a £5 for a pint. So I didn't think that was bad value. That £5 for a pint, probably more down there. But for me afters, I did Eton Mess, and they did that were like ice cream, egg white thingies, and cream, and it was nice. It was alright. Bit heavy though for 8 o'clock at night. Having a pudding with your evening meal make you have bad dreams on the night. Right, I'm gonna get off. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll have to do a few more lives and answer a few more questions, but I hope you enjoyed it. And our son will be out at boxing in a bit, so I'll see you next time. See you later, everybody. If I can get this off. There we go.